guys, let's get started with today's journaling. I am for sure going to find some inspiration in Pinterest because who doesn't, especially us girlies who are not very creative. So I picked out this one for Proverbs 17:22. The design is like a pill bottle because the verse says, "A merry heart doth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dry the bones." So it's like signaling that, joy is the medication for the heart. So I'm just drawing here the sketch of a bottle. Don't pay much attention to my details here because of course I don't know how to draw, so I was just like sketching it out with my eye, trying to copy the picture that I saw in Pinterest. But essentially that is the idea, and I thought it was really cute because it kind of reminds you to take your chill pill every day, right? Making sure that we are taking that pill of joyfulness, that even in the midst of trial, I know that it's easier said than done, but we can always find that joy knowing that ultimately we are not alone, that God for sure knows what trials we're going through, and that can bring us joy in any situation, or at least it can bring us peace. And it's been proven, right, that joy and peace can be physically impactful to our actual bodies. So I think it's doubly beneficial for us to always try to find that joyfulness in life, knowing that again we're not alone in suffering, we're not alone in the trials that we have to go through, because God is there. The next verse we're going to journal is one in a book that I don't really read a lot because it's kind of hard to understand, but this is Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 7, and it says, "Thou art all fair, my love, there is no spot in thee." And as I said, this book is kind of difficult to understand, but I really like this part because if you go through books like Isaiah or Jeremiah or even Ezekiel, it lets us know how he has given us a new heart, how we have been made clean because of him. And I think that this is really precious, how God may look at us through Jesus and tell us that we have no flaw, right? And it's not because of us, it's not because we're perfect or anything, but because if God sees us through Jesus, his son, of course he's going to see the perfectness of Jesus, and that is why he tells us that we have no flaw. And I believe that is a very beautiful gift, a very beautiful promise, that we have been made clean through him. So that is why I believe this scripture was really nice to journal out, just to have that reminder when we don't feel like we're not worth much. And that could be true, to be honest. The Bible does say that we have all sinned, but when we look at this promise, when we look at his sacrifice, for sure we mean something to him, right? We mean enough for him to have come down on earth and died on a cross for us. So I do think that is a beautiful promise and gift from him, and that is why we're journaling this particular verse in Songs of Solomon. as you can see, I came back to the journaling spread we had on Proverbs 17 because I was just letting it dry a little bit, since the gel pen I used to draw it could bleed through a little bit when I put the highlighted color in there. So I was waiting for it to dry. So we're just putting in a little bit of color there, trying for it not to smudge too much or to bleed through the page. This is not the ideal way of drawing on a Bible because the highlighters will bleed through the paper, of course, and then if you want to do a design on the next page, it could be hard to do so. And for our final design today, we're going to go to the New Testament in Matthew 9, and it's verse 12, and it's the one where Jesus says, but when Jesus heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. Again, one of my favorite scriptures out there, because he lets us know that he was here, right, to help us out, the people that are suffering, the people that need help, right? Not people that are, self-justified or whatever, like the Pharisees were implying at this moment. But anyway, I decided to go with this design that was supposed to be like a little band-aid. It didn't really came out the way I thought it was. I certainly would have needed to sketch it out with pencil before, but I thought that I could go through with it. Evidently I didn't, but still it did not turn out so bad. I think that it was cute how the flowers sprung out of that little band-aid, seeing how life comes after the healing, right, for our souls. So I think the concept was really cute, and I just wrote in there like the phrase of healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do.